Hey again. Okay, so for this problem, it's number 26 on page 68, and I already wrote down the problem, okay? What I want to point out first is that it's a conjunction problem. I know that because I have two inequality symbols with something in between it, okay? So just like the problem before, what we do is we take what's in the middle, I'm going to box it, and then I'm going to create some problem on the left, and then something on the right, and I'm going to label it such, okay? Left and right. To get my left side, I take what's in the middle and everything to the left of it. So I can write that down. 3y plus 5 is greater than or equal to 2y plus 1. Now I can go to the right side. Again, I take what's in the middle and then everything to the right of it. So it's 2y plus 1 is greater than y minus 1. So what I'm left with at this point is two different inequalities for me to solve. I'll start with the left, okay? So first thing, can I simplify anything on the left by combining like terms? No. How about on the right? No. Okay, so now that we're beyond that step, let's see if there's some things we can add or subtract to both sides. Well, we could. Why don't we move the 5 over to the 1? Since it's a positive 5, I'll subtract 5 here to cancel it out and then do it to the other side also. I'm just going to do this in 2 steps, okay? Some of you could probably do it in 1, all right here. The 3y comes down, bring down your inequality symbol. I'm left with 2y, and 1 minus 5 is a negative 4, okay? Now, I could also combine my y's because those are like terms. So why don't I move the 2 over to the 3. Since it's a positive 2y, I'll subtract 2y from this side and subtract 2y from that side. These cancel out, leaving me with just a negative 4 here. Bring down my inequality symbol. And 3y minus 2y, I'm left with 1y. Or if you want to write it this way, you could just say y is greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm done here, so I'm going to move to the right side. Okay, here we are. First step. Can I simplify by combining like terms here? No. How about on the right side of the inequality? No. So now can I add or subtract on both sides? Yes, I can. I'm going to move the positive 1 over here, okay? So if it's positive 1, I'll subtract 1 from both sides. My 2y comes down. Bring down the inequality symbol. Bring down your y. And a negative 1 and a negative 1, if you combine those, make a negative 2. Now I see that I can combine my y's because those are like terms. Since this is a positive 1y, I'll subtract 1y from both sides. This cancels out, leaving me just with a negative 2 on the right. Bring down the inequality symbol. And 2y minus 1y is just 1y. Or again, you could write this differently if you want. Take out the 1 and you're just saying y is greater than a negative 2. Okay? So now I have two solutions. One, which is y is greater than negative 4, greater than or equal to negative 4, and the other one, which is y is greater than negative 2. But I want you to hear what I just said. Did you guys hear that they're both, y in both cases is greater than something? If you remember from the last problem, when you have a conjunction, usually the variable in your answer would need to go in the middle and be less than something and greater than something. But in this case, y is just greater than or equal to instead of being less than anything. So we have to now try to graph this so we can see visually really what's happening in this problem. And sometimes when you graph something, that visual will help you realize what's happening in the problem and what your answer then should be, okay? So let's do that first. Let's make our number line. Well, I have to have a negative 4 in there, so I'll just start at negative 5 and continue my way down. And I'll just stop there. This is the positive side. Here's the negative side of the number line. Okay, let's start with this one. Y has to be greater than or equal to a negative 4. Since it's a greater than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle at negative 4. And y has to be greater than it, so I have to go in the greater than direction. Okay? You just keep going. Now here, y has to be greater than negative 2. But since it's not equal to, I'm putting an open circle here. And since it's greater than, again, I have to go in the greater than direction. Now, this is where some of you guys may be really confused. If it's a conjunction, then we know that both solutions have to work for the variable. But clearly it doesn't when you look at the graph, because here y could be negative 4, but and it's going on its way, but can it be negative 2? That open circle there shows that no, it can't be negative 2. It has to be greater than negative 2. So again, you have to remember here in this case that when it's a conjunction problem, the solution to both has to work for the variable. In this case, it's not working for both because there's a gap here. So what we actually see in this graph is really our answer. Let me redo it. What our answer here is showing that y has to be greater than or equal to negative 4, but it cannot be negative 2. What it can be is any number greater than negative 2. So if we graph this differently with a negative 2, let's keep going. We're at negative 2. And if we show that our answer is just y is greater than negative 2, this answer is sufficient, meaning it actually answers and it works for the variable in both cases. Look, if y has to be greater than or equal to negative 4, if we put the answer here at negative 2, does that still work for here? Is y still greater than negative 4? Well, yeah, because remember, this is the positive direction. So if we put it at negative 2, then it's true. Look, that y is still greater than negative 4, and it continues in that greater than direction. And it works for this one because we're saying it cannot be negative 2, it has to be greater than it. So look, it satisfies that inequality as well. So when it's a conjunction, please remember that your answer has to work for both solutions. And if it was like this, it didn't work because it can't be greater than or equal to covering a circle right here that's a gap. This just doesn't work. But if we just make our answer right here and keep it going, then it works for this one and it works for this one. So now let's write our answer, okay? We're talking about the y variable, and what we found is that y has to be greater than negative 2. And then this is our solution set, so put your butterflies, and then this is our answer with our graph, okay? And this satisfies both inequalities as a conjunction. I hope that helps.